Hello, everybody, and welcome to my world with Nat, relocation concierge here in the Dominican Republic. You know, I say it every time. I'm so excited to have my guest, but I'm really happy to have Mimi with me today. I was fortunate to work with Mimi last year in her Authentic Funnel program, and I was very blessed and honored, and I'm more blessed and honored that you're here today to share your story because I am not the only one who in 2021 made big changes. So did you.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So take me back to like that moment where, because I remember a moment in one of our coaching calls, or I don't remember, and you said to me, you know, Nat, you really inspire me. And I was like, okay. But I think that inspiration may have like, you know, kind of gone over. What was the moment where you said like, I have to try this?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think it's something I repressed for years. When I was really young, I was always crying when I would leave, places that were tropical. So whether it was Mexico, the Dominicans, like Costa Rica, we went to
Yeah.
St. Lucia, like all these places. Anytime I was with my parents and we would go back home in Canada, I would cry my eyes out. I didn't want to come back. And so I think like subconsciously it was ingrained in me. I desired that. But then this year where was the year, well, in 2021 was the year where I traveled. It was supposed to be a trip of like 2 weeks with two girlfriends. It was
Yeah.
just supposed to, be a quick in and out of Costa Rica. And I landed here and it just blew my mind. I felt so different. I felt lighter. I felt excited about life. I felt healthier. I felt more alive and active. And I just knew, I was like, okay, I want to feel that way every single day. What am I doing? Like, why am I not living this life? And I realized that I had anything that, everything was already in place for me to live that life. I was already running a business online, which I could
Yeah.
do anywhere in the world. I just had to do a few tweaks, of course, with like my house and things like that, but it was definitely a possibility. And for the first time in my life, I allowed myself to actually do the thing. And so
Mm.
that's how I knew.
And I think one of the things that's come up for me with a few people that I've been speaking with is that they feel like that this idea of relocation is like a permanent uprooting of your life and forever. And I think for some people like myself and maybe like yourself, yes, we have made a more permanent choice. But the idea of, and you've made a few stops like in Costa Rica, you've been traveling a little bit around, and that's the beauty of it, of being able to move around. But relocation doesn't have to be a long-term choice.
Not necessarily. Yeah, I know a lot of people who are even digital nomads. So they literally hop
Yes.
from place to places. Personally, I love a little bit more of a structure or like
Yes.
a base so that I
Yeah.
can have a gym that I go to, and stuff like that. I love to have my habits, my routines a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to like
Yeah.
stay in a
Oh,
place.
absolutely. And I mean, in our case, we have a family. So for our daughter, it's really important that
Yeah.
we have some kind of grounding, that she have a space of her own. We even had to move apartments, and she said, am I still going to go to the same school? And it was like, of course, that was never going to change. So that idea of stability is important. So what were some of the things? So you went to Costa Rica for a bit, you went back to Canada, got some things sorted out. What were the things that really um were not dear to you, but were really important for you to have, you know, your must-haves when you decide to do this?
Internet, good internet. Um, definitely a must. I think that for me, it was like, to be honest, like I don't need much aside
Yeah.
from like a sense of security. I need to feel like I'm secure in a space, in a community that I feel good in. Specifically because I'm a, single woman, like I don't want to be in a place where I don't feel secure. So obviously that was
Yeah.
important. And aside from that, I wanted to be really in a spot where I could be active and have somewhat of a, you know, community. So people that I know or that I could like connect with, so certain groups of people. And I found that here in Nosara, where I have like my workout community, I have my dancing community, people that love to dance and we go dancing together. Like I found really my my people.
Yeah, sense of community, I think in any relocation is important because you want, and here in the DR, there's a huge contingency of Canadians that have landed. So there is a huge community that's being built right now. Are there a lot of Canadians in Nosara or in the area?
A ton of Canadians, yes.
Interesting. Definitely. Okay. And so what would be a couple of tips? Like somebody's watching this and they're thinking, wow, these two women have done this. They've taken their life, they've taken it elsewhere. What are a couple of things you think that people need to know? You know, I have my own, but what are the things they need to know before they decide to do this?
Well, I think that there's a lot of limitations that are created in our minds, and I want to invite people to challenge their own limitations. So oftentimes we think it's going to be complicated. We think there's like multiple things we need to think of. And to be honest, like there's not that many things we need to think of. One of the things that is different or you need to think of is the fact that you need to be, if you desire to keep all of your advantages from a Canadian standpoint, you got to be 6 months per year in Canada. So really like the 6 month plus 1 day, I think, in Canada. But having said that, that's one of the things that scares a lot of people. But there's a lot of insurance company that can give you the medical insurance where that's basically the only thing you need if you're abroad and you need to make sure you're like covered. And so you stay Canadian, but you just don't have the medical
benefits.
Benefits, exactly. But having said that, for example, I've been a business owner now for almost 5 years now, full time. And so I didn't have any corporate benefits or anything like that. So I was already paying for all of my stuff, my dentist appointments, all of the things, you know? So for me, it's like, well, wait a second, like, where am I really losing here? Like, not really, I'm actually not losing at all. And so these types of limitations we create in our minds, we're like, oh, but yeah, like this will be complicated. Or what about this? What about that? It are honestly not an issue at all. And so,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So true. You know, today is our 1 year anniversary that we put our house on the market. Today was the day that we did it a year ago. And I remember being so happy sticking that sign in the snow. There was so much snow. And but not feeling that. I felt a sense of freedom in doing this. And it was I've shared it with others and I've shared it with you too. I think that making this move was much easier than actually adding a branch to my business and becoming a relocation concierge. The irony of that. And it's all working out and it's great and I'm loving it. But there's the limitation. I think that's what I'm taking away from that right now. So there are no limitations anymore. Take off the hats. No. So as we say, tout est possible. And I think that is the thing. I had a client call the other day and she said, you make it look so easy. You make it look possible, because it is. It really is possible. So 2022 has started. I know you're on fire. So your plan is to hang out in Nosara?
Yes. So now I'm actually alternating between Nosara and San Jose, and I'm kind of like playing with both places. So San Jose is really like the capital of Costa Rica. It is like a city. The climate is super different. So it's actually like fresh at night and in the morning. And when I say fresh, I mean like 18 degrees-ish.
Yeah.
But it feels good to me to be in somewhat of a more like organized and city vibe, like being able to like dress up at night, put a jacket on. It feels good to me and have a little bit more of the cultural side. So I love to play between those two places. Here is super jungle vibes, like very like flip-flop. There's like the dirt road, so there's dust, like, you know, sandy feet, and it's awesome. But I also crave a bit of the more like structured approach of a city. It helps me focus more on the business side of things and stuff. I feel
Yeah.
less on vacation. So I love to play between those two places. So it's been really good to have that balance.
So you are Nocera, you made this dream possible. You are coaching there. Tell the audience what are your programs right now, or what is it something that might be of interest to them? Because I know you just rolled out a couple of things.
Yeah, so I'm a life coach for business owners. So I help business owners really step into the identity that gets them the results they want. So my programs are based on really changing who you are as a person so that you can step up your game and be the leader of a movement that you're building. So I
I
don't
love the
help business
movement.
owners. I don't help business owners that are just in there to like build a business and make
Yeah.
money. I love to be with people who have big social missions, like they have a movement they're building, and I help them become the leader of their movement.
Absolutely. So if you want to know more about what Mimi does to help business owners, I will make sure to drop her IG in the comments, because you'll be able to go follow her there. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my
It's so
pleasure.
it's so fun to chat with somebody who's not, I mean, I love my DR peeps, but it's so much fun to see other people elsewhere really experiencing life. And that's really what it boils down to, is we live once. You need to be happy once. So, and as you say, you have to be happy on Mondays. You have to be happy every day, but happy on Mondays especially. Mimi Boyer, thank you so much for being with me today. For those of you who maybe just caught the tail end of this, my name's Nat. I own Master Authentic Voice with a branch called Welcome to My World. I'm a relocation concierge here in the DR. If you are thinking of making this move, make sure you book a free call with me, and we'll be able to navigate the questions that you have and see if I can be of service to you in making your transition here easy. Whatever you choose to do today, have an incredible day, and I'll see you soon on the next episode. Bye for now.